The Xbox 360 is one of the greatest consoles of all time. And with good reason. It almost wasn't even about the games, kind of. It was, well, obviously. But it was maybe sometimes even about the experience you had with the system. It was the perfect generation for multiplayer games. And it was also the perfect generation for single-player games as well. You didn't really have to choose. They just kind of fell on your face. I think the only thing that would be more epic than an Xbox 360 with a bottle of vanilla Coke and Halo 3 on the screen would be if Beethoven could play Hollaback Girl by Gwen Stefani. Sometimes it almost feels like it's not even that common anymore these days to see games with an incredible multiplayer with a campaign that's equally as good, if not better. This was really a generation where if you put a disc in the 360, you'd be almost just angry at yourself because you didn't know what to play. Be staring at the main menu screen for like 7 minutes. Campaign or multiplayer? Basically, flip a coin. I can't believe it, but it is happening. The Xbox 360 is going to be 20 years old. As something that actually does feel like it wasn't that long ago, because some things do. Consoles from the 90s, they feel old at this point. It's definitely that point where you can probably sit down and play like Super Nintendo or something and be like, you know what, this does kind of feel a little bit old. This is absolutely a perfect time to revisit one of the greatest consoles ever, because it's just, you have to celebrate things. And on the 20th anniversary of one of the greatest consoles ever, it's time to look back, or stay here, stay at the current, and figure out, is this going to be something that is still worth playing? Is this still as good as it once was? Or is it better? Or is it worse? It has to be something. Being the same still can be an answer. I actually kind of got this idea because I've been really seeing a lot of TikTok videos lately. I know, been brain rotting on that app lately, but I've been seeing a lot of videos of people actually playing Xbox 360, Halo 3, saw a couple of Halo Reach videos, Gears of War I see all the damn time, Call of Duty. It's just games from this generation basically have been showing up on my feed a lot. And that's kind of where I want that For You page to be. I don't want to see a damn video of somebody banging on the table. What? Somebody hitting the table with a fork and knife waiting for pancakes or something, okay? I want to see something like this. If you revisit something, you have to really do it the right way. You have to talk about every single factor that goes into what you're looking at, because sometimes you might forget to do something that might not maybe mean as much as something else, but it does still count. Xbox 360, I really believe, was one of the best designed consoles. The coolest looking. I guess it wasn't that big, but it was definitely larger than most things we've seen. I mean, for someone who had a GameCube at the time, and then you get an Xbox 360, it's like, what the hell? Where do I put this? There's nothing like the original console, in my opinion. I feel like that might be the case for a lot of them. You can't really talk about the original Xbox... What did I say? You can't really talk about the original Xbox 360 without talking about probably the most infamous moment in Microsoft/Xbox's existence. The Red Ring of Death was something that honestly may have caused chaos. Chaos in the streets, it may have caused. I'm not even entirely sure I know of a person living who hasn't had the Red Ring of Death. You just got shipped this large-ass box. You had to go to like some support page. I don't remember what it was. You go to the support page, you fill out your information. You got to wait like a month, depending on where you live, for the damn big-ass box to show up at your door. You put the Xbox in, you ship it away, and then it comes back like a month later. It's like a 2-month process. The later editions of the Xbox 360, more specifically the 360S or Slim, had the nice curvy design, looked like there was like sharp edges at times with it and everything. It was smaller than the original 360. The only really unfortunate thing about it is it took away the ability to change the faceplate. Now, this system is very nice looking, but let's be honest, who the hell cares what it looks like? Or maybe. I mean, if it looks like a shoe or something, it's probably just like, what the hell is happening here? But that's not even close to the important thing. I'm getting off track over here. I'm like a train conductor on ecstasy right now. I really believe at this point, and I will probably believe this up until the day I die, the Xbox 360 controller is still to this day one of the most impressive controllers we've ever seen. Now, it's kind of hard to compare it to anything new, because if one thing that the newest consoles do well is that the controllers are very nice, you have to give credit to some things that might not get a lot of credit sometimes. And if the PlayStation 5 and Series X have anything good going for them, is they can actually provide you with a nice controller. If you actually think back to 2005, it was rare to find one that was very nice. Other than the GameCube, unless I'm forgetting one, I don't know if there was a console where the controller was so damn nice before that. It's really impressive that even 20 years later, this is something that many people consider to be one of the greatest. With all we have now. Up until like 2020 when PlayStation 5 released, I don't know if there was really a controller better than that. And that's kind of weird. Or is it? It fit right in your hands. Didn't matter if you had small hands, very large ogre hands like I do. It was perfect for multiplayer games, which this generation provided many of. The triggers were incredible. Played like Call of Duty or Halo or something. There was nothing better to use than an Xbox 360 controller. I remember playing Call of Duty on PlayStation 3 and 360, and the difference from the PlayStation 3 controller. It made everything so much easier to be able to control. The layout of the analog sticks is always something that I feel like Xbox had the advantage on for PlayStation as well, with the left analog stick kind of being at the top left of the controller rather than at the bottom. I always felt like that was a better design. That's just me though. We get to the most important part of what is the Xbox 360 generation, just really the 7th generation as a whole, but more specifically, the Xbox 360. Because I'm going to break it down. Not like dancing like a fool or something, just talking about the actual games on 360, ones that were maybe exclusive at the time. I say at the time because there's many games now that were exclusive at that moment and now have moved to other things and you can play them on that now. So it's like Halo 3 you can play on PC. I want to point out the actual launch titles because that needs to be pointed out and appreciated. I feel like that was a really good variety of launch titles to have. I just actually went back and played a bunch of the launch titles because I wanted to see if they're still amazing. They are still amazing. That's no secret, actually, so why ask the question? Say it, you idiot. You know what's really interesting about the 360 that I didn't even realize up until a certain point? There was quite a few games on the PlayStation 2 from the later PlayStation 2 era to the beginning of the 360 generation. Some of them may not have came out at the exact time that they did, like I believe Burnout may have came out before that and everything, and then a couple months after it released for 360. Like these are games that you would think are PlayStation 2 classics, and then they're on Xbox 360. I always consider those to be from the PlayStation 2 generation, like Bully and everything, and then they actually got released on the Xbox 360, which is interesting to me. Gun? I saw someone say that's like the best version of the game. So there's that. Games from this generation were unbelievably important. And why I say that is because this was probably the last time as well where console wars actually mattered. You would legitimately see people yelling and screaming at each other via a comment section, talking about how they would never buy a PlayStation 3, someone would never buy a 360, or you still see people saying that and everything, but like, does it even really matter anymore? Something that really goes into a lot of the likeness and just your memories from a specific console is just the experience you had, and maybe even just where the world was when it released. When 360 released, it was almost like the perfect era for gaming. Multiplayer games were starting to ramp up. It was maybe within like 1 or 2 years that multiplayer games became something where everybody needed to be on them. Call of Duty 4 in 2007, Gears of War before that. Once games like that released, Halo 3, remember how amazing YouTube was back in like 2007, 2008? That was really the glory days of that damn website. Just the culture that went into the Xbox 360 internet scene. The machinima videos. All these people making free-for-all commentaries, or just someone trying to get a nuke. The phase illcams, or whatever the hell they were called. I sound such an idiot saying that. The trick-shotting montages. Just montages in general. Watching some of the greatest snipers you've ever seen in your life. You would go into a 360 lobby. You're getting yelled at as soon as you enter the lobby. People are making fun of your gamer tag. And then at night, you're looking in the mirror like scared to death to ever play online again because people are saying the craziest things you've ever heard in your life. I've never even heard some of these words before. And this is being said to me many times. Is that even legal to say? The amount of things I've heard on Xbox 360 lobbies should probably be illegal. It's something that you have to really have been there for to experience. You cannot explain it. The crazy ass emblems people had in Black Ops 1, I don't know how the hell they made this feature where they thought that human beings would be normal doing that. I just think to myself, how did they honestly, I mean, at the time it was a really good idea, and probably, I guess, maybe even still is. Just the fact that they trusted humans to be able to make something as an emblem and not be insane. I just feel like it was all about the 360 at the time. Back in like 06 to 09 or even later, 06 to like 2012. It was all about the 360. I never in a million years would have walked my ass into a store and got a 360 if like every person I knew at the time didn't own one. I was fine with playing on PlayStation 3, but everyone was like, if you're not on 360 within a day, I'll kick your ass. Okay. I'll get one then. I don't think we're ever going to be able to get those experiences back. Just the way everything was with the internet, Xbox Live at the time, the way everything was, the way you could just go on YouTube and watch all of these amazing videos. I mean, you could still obviously do that now. Most of the time when people are playing like Call of Duty and things now, it's just everyone's talking about how bad the game is. Back then, everyone was just like, you know what, this game rules. I think the Xbox 360 is probably one of the consoles you can say does not have many things wrong with it. There might be some consoles that are great, but sometimes there might be one or two things or maybe a couple things about it that you might not like. This is probably just one of those consoles that had everything going for it, maybe besides the red ring of death. If that never was a thing, I think this probably would have been one of the most perfect consoles ever. Was there anything else bad about it? It's hard to think of many things that were bad about the system. The games were incredible. The controller was the best we've ever seen up until that point. Xbox Live was a miraculous experience. Even things like the original Blades dashboard made the console that much better. You could have just turned the 360 on and just looked at the dashboard for an hour and not got bored of it. It was almost the perfect console. You have to say almost because I don't know if anything is perfect. But sometimes I wonder if there was a list of perfect consoles, this one would probably be up towards the top. You could probably play a campaign, or not probably, you could. Stop saying probably in words you don't mean, or just randomly put into a sentence. You could play a campaign on any game that gave you a campaign and a multiplayer. Both of them would have shocked you for how good they were. Like, what was honestly better? Was the Gears of War campaign better or the multiplayer? I don't even know. They were both masterpieces. It's hard to say. Sometimes I miss that universe we lived in back in 2006, 2008, 9, 10 even. Just the way everything was, just how crazy everything was and amazing at the time. All you'd worry about is your kill-death ratio in Call of Duty or something. And the Xbox 360 really provided a masterclass experience to gamers everywhere. It is something that is going to be celebrating its 20th year anniversary here shortly. And to look back at what we have seen over the years and just how things are going the way that, you know, we might be able to... Anyone else see that? Well, I'm sure a lot of people did. 360 games played on PC, not like emulation, just being able to actually get the 360 version of the game. All of these things are evolving, including emulation and everything. So the 360 is not going anywhere. It's just nice to know that the 360 is still as good as it once was, if not better. I think I might actually enjoy some games more now. You can still even play some of the games online and everything. Gears of War 2, 3 even, I believe. Call of Duty 4, MW2, Call of Duty Black Ops. Some of the best games on 360 you can still play and have fun with, not just the campaign. Games that you've never played before, or just maybe heard about and played them a little bit, never really gave it a chance. Revisiting the Xbox 360 in 2025 was a very good thing. Sometimes good things happen. It is something that I will not regret, and I'm losing my voice. So it's time to wrap it up. My water's gone too. I just drank all of it. If my water is gone, then I am screwed, because I'm a raspy mess when my water is gone. Thank you for watching.